Welcome to a place where the little heaven is between the hills. Friends, we are traveling to Lonavala for our Diwali holidays. Friends, our journey from Mumbai to Lonavala was more than just a drive. It was an escape into nature's arms. We started early in the morning when the city was still half asleep and the air felt fresh and calm. As we left behind the busy streets of Mumbai, the noise slowly faded, replaced by the soothing hum of the highway. The drive along the Mumbai Pune Expressway was truly refreshing. The smooth roads surrounded by green hills and misty valleys made every moment feel peaceful. Each moment felt precious. With each passing kilometer, the concrete jungle gave way to lush forests. We could see the waterfalls and rolling clouds. The cool breeze brushing against our faces when the window was opened added to the excitement of the trip. One of the most fascinating parts of this route is the series of tunnels that cut through the Sahyadri hills. And now we'll be going through the Barton Tunnel. This is the Barton Tunnel, friends. It's one of the biggest and the longest tunnel, and the tunnel was really well lit. It was very spacious as well. As we entered the tunnel, the world outside suddenly faded. It was replaced by glowing lights and the echo of engines inside the mountain. There's certain thrill in driving through a tunnel, isn't it? A feeling of moving through the heart of the earth itself. Tunnels are cut through the mountains, and you could still feel and hear the sound of mountains from inside the tunnel. There were other small tunnels as well, but Barton or the other tunnels were truly engineering marvels. The tunnels were made to make travel safer and faster. The tunnels were made by cutting the mountains instead of going around them. This reduces steep climbs, sharp turns, and long detours, making the journey smoother and more efficient, especially during the monsoon when landslides are common on the Ghats. I had childlike enthusiasm as we passed through each tunnel. From waterfalls to winding roads, Lonavala is not just a place, it's a feeling. We can lose ourselves in the fog, find ourselves in the silence. That's Lonavala for us. One cup of chai and one view of the clouds, and all our worries fade away. That's Lonavala. Between green valleys and winding roads, Lonavala teaches us to slow down. Traveling to calm places is like meditation. The cool air still carried a hint of the sea, but the streets looked more peaceful for a change. As we crossed the city limits and entered the Mumbai-Pune Express Highway, the landscape began to change. The tall buildings faded into the background. And this is the second tunnel that you can see. It's a smaller tunnel, but it was still well lit. Friends, the Mumbai-Pune Express Highway has so many tunnels, and it was fun traveling through them. Because there were no tall buildings, we could see the open skies, green hills, and fresh air that instantaneously lifted our mood. The Mumbai-Pune Express Highway is one of India's most scenic highways. It has smooth roads, breathtaking valleys, and well-designed tunnels that makes you feel that you're journeying through the heart of the mountains. It's like you're traveling to another country like Switzerland or England. Traveling through these wide roads felt like that I was stepping out of a dream. The landscapes on both the sides and the green valleys, mist-covered peaks and waterfalls tumbling down the slopes. Wow, I just cannot express what I felt. The radiant hills outside was truly magical. Now there will be a small halt because we'll be touching the toll naka where the expressway officially begins. There was a huge queue in the toll naka. I guess many were traveling to a holiday spot like Lonavala or Pune to enjoy the Diwali holidays. It was a long weekend, and I guess all of them wanted to have some fun with their families. Friends, the toll naka experience itself felt like a small pause between two different worlds. On one side, the world was fast paced, it was Mumbai, and on the other, the calm embrace of the hills of Lonavala waiting to be explored. Friends, on either side of the road and on eye catching parts of the drive, there were massive hoardings that lined the route. Huge billboards advertising Jeep, SUVs, luxury villas, water parks, and resorts stood proudly against the hills. Their bright colors and very bold words seemed to compete with the beauty of the landscape itself. This one giant Jeep advertisement I'll never forget because it almost stood so alive and it perfectly matched the wild spirit of the Western Ghats. And just a few kilometers later, another vibrant board caught my eye, and it was the advertisement for Imagica Water Park. And images of slides, splashes, and smiling faces, it brought so much of happiness on the traveler's mind. The signboards built up the excitement even before visiting them, and they all promised fun, thrill, and escape, just what every traveler wanted. Friends, many travelers stop midway to have some chai, to have some snacks or breakfast. Friends, there's something about sipping hot tea in between as we travel through the highway because the feeling is priceless and we just are in a mood to relax, to have some fun. So, snacking in between the travel is priceless. As we traveled through the highway, the mountains stood at a distance. It looked quiet like old sages. The sky looked half awake. The clouds lazily followed me like unspoken memories. Friends, the world seemed to move, yet I felt still. I was a traveler who was in no hurry. Each mile that I traveled had pages of peace. Billboards flashed, cars passed, but inside of me there was this empty space of happiness, empty space of calm. That's what highway teaches all of us. Friends, not every journey needs a plan, and not every thought needs a shape. Sometimes the road itself becomes your mind, open, endless, and beautifully empty. I wasn't thinking of where I came from, nor where I was going. My mind had become as wide as the sky above. It was open, it was unburdened, and it was beautifully blank. The highway taught me something subtle that day. That emptiness is not loneliness, it's the freedom from the noise within. Each passing milestone felt like a breath, each curve a thought that came and went without saying. The sun traveled with me, sometimes hiding behind clouds, sometimes pouring gold across the road ahead. The air smelled of earth and promise, and every gust carried the scent of distant rain. As I opened the window shields, the wind played with my hair. The sky stretched endlessly, and I smiled at the nothingness that felt so full. No music, no chatter, only the hum of motion, the sound of life flowing quietly through the veins of the earth. Somewhere between two tunnels, I realized I wasn't traveling to a place, I was traveling through a moment of peace. And in that calm stretch of highway, where time slowed and thoughts dissolved, I met a part of myself that speaks only in silence, the part that doesn't need answers, only the gentle sound of the road and the whisper of the wind saying, just keep going, just keep going. Sometimes even our cars seem to slow down, not because of the traffic, but because of the wonderment. A strange peace took over both of us, and the kind that comes when you know you've left your worries somewhere behind, far away with the city lights. There were spots where we rolled down our windows because the fragrance of wet soil rushed in, carrying with it the music of distant waterfalls. Somewhere a cuckoo called, somewhere else laughter echoed. Somewhere else we could see the roadside chai stalls. As we entered Lonavala, little shops appeared on both the sides. There were colorful boards, steaming kettles, and trays full of golden chickees and fudge. When we are traveling to a holiday destination, then every drop of rain feels like a welcome. Every breeze, it feels that we are having a soft conversation between the heart, and our heart was on the hills. Time slowed, thoughts softened, and the city inside of us finally went quiet. That's when it struck me. A holiday doesn't begin when you check into a hotel. It begins the moment you decide on a holiday. It begins when the mind is on a perfect start to start the adventure. Friends, this is part 1 of our adventure ride to Lonavala.